maybe that's a good point to start, the intention behind why you want to do something for people with anxiety.
Yeah. 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 So, I've been helping people with anxiety, curing people of anxiety for several decades now. But it really hit home when the pandemic happened globally, how many people were suffering. And so my first step was to do a series of Facebook Lives, which many people participated in and got a lot of help from. And then really in talking to Andre, realized it's unusual to be able to cure anxiety, not just help people with it. And I love helping people, and it's a skill that I have. So we put our heads together and realized we could make this available to far more people if we put it packaged together for a kind of a virtual intensive, because when people really suffer with anxiety, they will come to me from all over the world to work with me for 4 days. And we call that the intensive, and it's very impactful. But many people can't afford to, fly to where I am from wherever you are for those 4 days. So we thought we were inspired to put together something that's easy for people to access that will actually take care of the anxiety that you suffer from.
Right. Because that's what's triggered me to inquire you about this, because I had this anxiety for many years, and I tried a lot of things, to put it mildly, for the past almost 20 years. And when I came over you, I saw there was something unique in the way you talked about it, that like you said with confidence, like, yes, I know I can help you get rid of it. And it started with, you said, I know I can help my clients get rid of it. Like they can get this new understanding. And I was really curious, like, oh, really? Is that true? And that's how it started. I got really curious how you can be so confident, because I felt it was true to you. You just said your truth, like, yes, of course. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that kind of confidence is new to me to hear and say. So it's like, wow, this needs to get out to people.
Yes.
But it's possible, because many like me are like just probably coping with it. Like, yeah, that's part of life, being like,
yeah,
from time to time, a lot of the time for many. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Well, what do you find is so, maybe you don't like the word special, that's like, what's so special about it? But what's special to the way you teach this? What gives you this kind of results is my question.
Well, many people have heard of the 3 principles. I've been teaching the 3 principles for 30 years. But when I learned to talk about them as a paradigm, what I found, Andre, is that the logic and the simplicity of the paradigm helps people understand more deeply how the principles actually help you. And so I simply started trying it out. I started with the paradigm about 10 years ago and found that it gives me the ability to be laser pointed about the thinking, conscious or unconscious, that is creating the anxiety for people, and to be able to teach people how to wake up from that illusion that something that's not thought can create feelings, how to wake up to it over and over again. Right. So as people start to ground in their experience that they can come out of their suffering from anxiety, they begin to have hope. And then as we build on that experience, they begin to trust it. And so over time, and not that much time, people begin to realize that they are a human being having the human experience that we all have, and they don't need to be frightened about it. And that they can recognize the signals of when they're going to move into an anxious state, and they become familiar with how to bring themselves out of that anxious state. And so it's such a joy Andre, to see people who thought that their suffering would never end,
Mm.
begin to get on the other side of it. And I just see it over and over again.
Right. So you get almost like normalized to those kind of results. But me, I was blown away, like really getting curious, like,
Yeah.
okay, me as a marketer, and like, okay, we need to get this out here. That
Yeah.
was my first impulse, like, this
Yeah.
is quite an extraordinary found you have done,
Yeah.
discovered.
Yes. Yeah. And I agree, I'm not a marketer. I just have done this through word of mouth, my whole life, that I've taught the principles. And when you said that, I thought, yes, it would be wonderful to have a way to make this available. Just like my impulse with the Facebook Lives, let's make this available to more people, however we can do that.
Right. And I remember you have your really beautiful own unique way of expressing this. I remember you told me, like, Andre, when you're losing your balance, that comes with a feeling. I was like, yeah. And when you find that balance, that comes with a feeling. It's like, yeah, it's the same with the mental. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
so much sense. I've been using it with my friends, some of our customers, to get them to relax. So there's something really practical about it. And I love what you said, that this is something that's, I can find my own way back to resilience and peace with, like, the heavy lifting comes from understanding, not Mr. Andre trying to fix it with all his techniques.
Yes.
There's something really hopeful about the simplicity and the laser focus of this approach that I really love, and I find really hopeful for a lot of people struggling with this.
Yes. Yeah. So you said two important things. I feel, one is the power of understanding that there are principles in place to do the work of our mental health for us, because we can't do that. It's bigger than we are. And just like gravity's in place for us to have physical balance, gravity is way bigger than we are. But it's a natural human instinct to learn to align with gravity, and then gravity does the work. And, in the same way, nature gifted us with feelings as our GPS system, so we can feel when we're out of psychological balance and when we're in psychological balance. And that gives you something very practical to work with, right? So that you can benefit from the power of these principles and not feel that it's something sort of vague that you have to, try to find somehow, but that you actually have a very commonsensical, kind of grounded way to discover nature's laws for your psychological balance.
Right. And if I can share one more thing that I think is quite hopeful for people listening to this, is now I have a bad feeling, I'm anxious, whatever, and I can am I in mental balance? I can just ask the question, and the heavy lifting is just, thank God, I'm not. So just seeing that back in balance. So that's so new to me. I never found something that works so fast in order to bring balance in. But in some way, you clear the misunderstanding that my intellect has to turn it around, like feeling anxious. Yeah, I ate chocolate yesterday. Yeah, work is busy. Okay, I have to relax. All this madness. And it's like, I'm off balance. It's like, back to it.
Nice. Yeah. So nice. Yeah. I think everybody, when they discover this, you have your own insights that work perfectly for you.
Right.
And it's wonderful when you find them, and it's inspiring to share them, because then others realize, it's as simple as that, and I can find my way with this.
Wow, you said something really important there. It's like you need to find and discover your own insights to
Yes.
how you can find this balance. That is really cool.
Yes.
That is so hopeful, because I can say, yeah, you just have to ask the question. If I can't just give a prescription for it, you have to
That's
do
right.
the uncovering and experience for yourself. Like, my God, that's how it's been working. Why haven't anybody told me like this
Yeah.
works?
Yeah.
So, and that's what's cool about you. You can offer, you can help people make that discovery for themselves, not you telling them, oh, it's just thought, oh, it's just feelings. You can just
Right.
help them have this insight.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And again, it's because we're designed for psychological balance. And nature has given us the means to find it, to recognize when we lose it and to find it. And we're all connected to this universal source of wisdom, so the more we're in psychological balance, the more access we have to the insights we need to move us forward in life. And that's such a beautiful thing. I think that's one of the great gifts of the principles, is that it opens the door for everyone to find their own wisdom.
Right. I like that. I think it's a good place to end it with one more thing, and that's how your process for helping people with it is. Because I found so much hope and simplicity in how you help people through this. And the first thing you uncovered was people have to understand what feelings truly tells us.
Yeah.
Like, that is your words on my experience. Like, oh, this feeling is telling me, aha, okay, so that's the first step. But then we also know, like, you have to find your way to live in a good feeling.
Yeah.
Even though nothing on the outside has changed. I think that is so hopeful. Like, your life can be a mess, and it many times is, but it doesn't mean you cannot find a good feeling inside of you.
Right.
And the last one, I have to peek here. Learn to gracefully bounce back when losing your psychological balance.
Yes.
Because I haven't met anybody who was living in endless enlightenment and just tears flowing down their eyes 24/7. Like, oh, everything's so beautiful. We all go in and out of it. So I think your holistic approach to just, we need all of these 3 steps to
Yes.
have a more peaceful and happy life, especially in these times
Yes.
living now. So I just like your 3 steps, making this more constant, really, really well.
Yeah. And it's already built into us. I mean, as children, we're paying attention to our feelings all the time. And so really in this program, you're really just learning to do what human beings are designed to do. Notice your feelings, but in addition, understand what they mean, and understand that they are a guide when you're out of psychological balance, and how to get back into psychological balance. So there are just 3 easy steps that basically give you a framework for working with what is already innate. Nature has already given you the means to have psychological balance, and this program gives you the understanding of how all of that works.
Right. Wow. So great. It's like it can be summarized with, so if I understand what feelings really are telling me, that's the first huge step towards what we're speaking to.
Yes.
I love it. All right.
All right.